Nkem and Ada grew up in the same compound, born only 9 months apart, raised like sisters. From the beginning, it seemed like fate had chosen Nkem as the golden child. Nkem was the girl who made teachers stop mid-sentence and smile, the girl who answered questions before anyone else finished thinking. She was the one parents used as a comparison. Why can't you be like Nkem? See how smart she is. She topped every class, won every prize, and carried herself like someone destined for greatness. Ada was different. She wasn't slow, just quiet. Quiet in her mind, quiet in her dreams, quiet in her pace. She tried, she studied, but her light didn't shine as loudly. In every school picture, Nkem stood in the center, holding the trophy, while Ada stood in one corner away, clapping with a smile that sometimes hid envy, hid exhaustion. Still, they loved each other deeply. Cousins, friends, almost sisters, two different stories, growing under the same sun. After secondary school, university came, and life revealed its unpredictability. Nkem entered with the same brilliance she grew up with, but along the way something changed. It started subtly, sleepless nights, strange anxiety, a constant feeling of heaviness she couldn't explain. Spiritual attacks she didn't understand. Courses she once found easy suddenly became mountains. Confidence leaked out of her like water from a cracked clay pot. Everyone saw the change, but nobody asked the right questions. Instead, they whispered, "What happened to Nkem? She has wasted her potential." Even Ada is doing better now. And it was true. Ada was doing better. Life seemed to open for her in ways nobody expected. She made new friends. Her business ideas started working. Opportunities came her way, like seeds tossed into fertile soil. Then slowly, painfully, Nkem became the example of what could have been. Neighbors who once bragged about her now avoided her mother. Relatives who once said, "This girl will be great," now shook their heads when she passed. Nkem tried everything: reading, praying, surviving, but the harder she pushed, the deeper she sank. There were nights she cried until her pillow was soaked, days when she couldn't get out of bed, moments she stared at the ceiling wondering where the girl she used to be had gone. She felt cursed, forgotten, left behind. And worst of all, she felt ashamed. Ashamed that the world had seen her rising and was now watching her fall. It wasn't laziness. It wasn't pride. It was warfare. Spiritual, emotional, mental, layered in ways no one could see. And even though Nkem carried unimaginable potential within her, life had buried her under battles she didn't know how to fight. Ada was neither arrogant nor boastful. She worked hard. She prayed, but even she knew something divine was helping her. While Nkem was drowning silently, Ada was being lifted quietly. People praised her now. The family bragged about her. Neighbors introduced her as the one doing well. Family members who once ignored her were now suddenly warm. But Ada carried guilt because she could see Nkem's pain. She could see how people's words cut her cousin open like slow poison. One night, Nkem felt she could no longer hold one more tear. Something inside her whispered, "Go to church." It wasn't Sunday. No service was happening. The building was empty. Lights off. Doors half closed. But she walked straight inside, like a child returning home. She didn't stop until she reached the altar. There in the quietness of the empty sanctuary, Nkem dropped to her knees, then slowly lay flat on her face. She began to cry, deep cries, honest cries that shook her chest and soaked the altar. She screamed and said, "God, it has to be today. You must answer me. I can't take it anymore. I can't fight alone again. If I must start again, let me start with you." Her strength gave out. Her tears dried on her cheek, and there on the church floor, Nkem cried herself to sleep. For the first time in years, she slept peacefully. When she woke up the next morning on that same altar, she felt strange. There was so much peace in her. She didn't hear a loud voice. No angel appeared. No miracle flashed. She felt seen, heard, and she felt held. That morning, with swollen eyes and shaky hands, she prayed the prayer that rewrote her future. "Lord, I surrender. Hide me in you. If I must start again, let me start with my life hidden in you." That prayer changed everything. The next morning, Nkem woke up with clarity. She didn't suddenly become brilliant again, nor did she suddenly become successful or rich, but her spirit was different. She began praying with intention, fasted with direction, reading again, not just books, but scriptures, pushing again, not from fear, but from faith, working again, not from pressure, but from purpose. Slowly, her battles began breaking. Chains began loosening. The fog lifted. The heaviness dissolved. Her mind sharpened again, and her confidence returned. And then it happened. The divine turnaround. Opportunities she had chased for years suddenly began chasing her. Ideas came alive. Doors began to open effortlessly. What Ada achieved in 10 years, Nkem achieved in months. People were shocked. Relatives who mocked her now used her as testimony. Neighbors who avoided her started bringing their children for advice. She didn't just rise, she soared. Grace caught up with her and restored every lost year. God didn't just lift her, He repositioned her exactly where she was meant to be. Ada didn't feel threatened. She felt proud. She told everyone, "I always knew Nkem's story wasn't finished." Nkem and Ada became a living proof of one truth. Nobody's journey is late. Nobody's destiny is cancelled. And nobody deserves to be mocked during the process. Some people rise early. Some rise late. Some rise suddenly, while some rise quietly. But when God is involved, rise you must. Your delay is not your denial. Your struggles are not your identity. Your battles are not your future. Your story is still in His hands. The God who lifted Ada with ease is the same God who lifted Nkem with speed. Different timings, same God, and in the end, both of their stories pointed back to Him.